What up, nerds? Hey, buggies. It is me, Jesse D. How are thee? Hopefully. Okay, dokie. I didn't quite give you guys an update since my surgery. Something looks a little shorter, doesn't it? A little crooked. Not quite what it used to be. You know, something that doesn't quite match the other hand anymore. The unfortunate saw injury, unrelated to any gears, mind you. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick little update and show you how my finger is doing. So only got so much bendability to it because I'm trying to show you an example of, well, how it looks now that I have to operate it a little bit differently. Yeah, bet you can't do this one real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no one can keep their finger that straight. But hey, I got a matching pair now. Haha. No, just kidding. This one actually didn't lose anything. It just, I can remove it individually. This one's fine. This one, not so much. This one, that one's a little out of the question. So today, on September 18th, 2023, I went to a neuropsychologist appointment to start to get an actual diagnostic clarity using assessments that would go over quite a lot to kind of eventually say, okay, here's what you definitely have. Because in my history, actual cough, I kept getting bounced from doctor to doctor, mostly because of insurance issues that were caused by me losing my job multiple times because I can never stay at my job due to my anxiety, and calling in multiple times saying, hey, I'm sick, I'm not feeling good. I can't make it in today. Yeah, it made me look like a shitty worker, I'm sure, despite my ability to, actually do quite a bit of good. And, I can do pretty good when I actually want to, but wanting to and being able to are two separate things. And in my case, being able to is the hardest thing in getting in the way of what I want to do. So, finally went through the initial 3 hours of my assessment. Gonna be going back for part 2, but hey, at least I got kind of a confirmation, I think, regardless of where, yeah, I do have bipolar 1 with psychotic features. And more is to be determined and ruled out, of course. And one thing I did want to note, though, in particular, was the ADD assessment, where it kind of does a scale of 0 to 3 based on never, like once a week, like twice a week or something, always, and, sorry, it was 1, 2, 3, or 0, 1, 2, 3, yep. Sorry, my brain's a little wonked out because I also had to do another assessment on top of it, had to do with numbers, a lot of numbers. So my brain's just a little jumbled. But the thing about that ADD assessment is I scored, I'm not going to say I was actually scored yet, but based on the answers, more than likely, might have some form of it, because I kept going like always, 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 always. Sometimes kind of okay, but then always, 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 always. I'm thinking I'm going to probably score high on that, and gonna see down the line if it's ADD or ADHD as part of the full assessment for diagnostic clarity, as the term is. And I like the term diagnostic clarity because it would feel so nice to actually have everything nailed down so that way when I go to my appropriate and a better office I get referred to, I'll be able to say, hey, here's what I have. Can you help me with this in the best way possible while knowing what needs to be done and what is there, what all the issues are to deal with or to adjust. That whole spiel of stuff. So that was pretty much it for, the normal life side of things. As far as creative side of things, I'm going to say sorry in saying that this side won't exactly be as long as the first half, because the first half is what's the most important part. That comes before the creative stuff, which I haven't been able to produce much for, which is why this is shorter. So, creatively, sorry, I haven't been getting anything else. But I've been doing a lot of thinking and pre-writing and trying to organize a lot for the comic Dream Bubble, Quantium Hospital, probably for the subtitle. I'm trying to think of how to go about this as far as titling it, because I have the blog, which is quan-t-m.tumblr.com, for your viewing pleasure for me to post any of the comic or comic updates And that is, again, a long wait because of the assessment I am getting this cleared up for, so that way I can learn how to best manage myself better and accomplishedly. So yeah, that's more or less what I've been doing on that. So it's been a lot of scenes coming up in my head that have been getting put together, like I can put my sentences together. So not to worry there. It's mostly going to take a little bit longer, but I'm finally at a point where I'm thinking almost constantly about the comic, to the point I'm thinking of scenarios, scenes, ideas. Does this work for this character? Does that scene roll out well for the characters or character? Stuff like that. So trust me when I say I've been putting a lot of effort into finding ways to get myself back to creative work. And that includes, editing. Don't mind all the prescription bottles. So I'm really wanting to make sure that once I'm through this assessment and hopefully have a new direction, that the buzzer in my brain won't be constantly going off anytime I try and start anything I want to. Unless I'm like stoned or something. Don't worry, I'm not saying anything in detail, but sometimes it's a little nice to just, open up a little bit if it allows me to actually get the door open mentally if I hadn't been able to get the right medication balance. And that is something else. Self-medication isn't a solution, but when I had smoked, it did what it needed to. It helped the anxiety, it helped focus, as long as I had the right strains, and it worked. So it's a little harder to control because it's a natural thing. Bronchitis a couple of weeks ago, that's probably 3 weeks ago. Still got crap left in here that's still clearing out. Out of nowhere, I'll breathe fine, and suddenly, the usual bullcrap that's always so helpful in conversations when it comes up randomly. So yes, that should be all. And from there, we shall see how things go. I will let you know how things go, and I'm really hoping and looking forward to seeing the gears moving. Not these, because those will be kind of hard to animate. You can't expect me to do free-moving objects moving around like that. And maybe I'll finally pick up the guitar, the one that's in the bag behind it. The one in front is a first act electric guitar my dad's friend gave me, because he's saying, hey, you should probably learn guitar, because the guitar behind is a nice Yamaha acoustic guitar I got a few years ago for my birthday, because I want to learn it, but am I able to for what my brain is allowing me to focus with? If I get the right tools, perfect. But until then, sometimes distractions feel what I'm able to do, and it sucks. Hope you don't mind me doing camera angles with my phone. It's a Pixel Fold, by the way, so I get to unfold this phone and actually hold it like a bigger camera. It allows me to do more dynamic stuff, and I enjoy that, because what I've always wanted to do is more movie-style things. And I am really liking the slow pan I can do with this, because the image stabilization on this thing is wonderful. Sorry. I'm nerding out and getting ideas, because this is how I find motivation. I need to see what works with experimentation and hope that I can still focus on it. So, that aside, this is the outro. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night, if I do not see you sooner. So, remember, love you, and share the love. See you later. Now, I can't exactly do this with one hand, because holding an unfolded phone and seeing the screen and seeing the camera is a challenge, and it's cumbersome. So, delayed outro, no more.